about. It should be fairly obvious, but
Oh,
anyways. Yeah, that awkward probe. See, damn it. Come on, man. Get it together. Game number 1 here for the TING Open Korean qualifiers. This is a qualifying match, and it's a ZVP between two fairly high caliber players. There are, of course, barcodes, but we made the concession, and while barcodes are not allowed, and we're going to do our best to try and make sure they have named accounts for the main event, the concession was, the middle ground was, if you've got a clan tag that says your name, as long as we can see that during the broadcast, we can rock and roll with it, because we just don't want people to be confused by these barcodes all the time. But at any rate, PvZ, top right side of the map, we got the blue Protoss player. It's Seed.
The bottom left, as the yellow Zerg, it's Rogue.
Small thing about Seed, he was one of the few Koreans that attended Hell It's About Time. He did win a qualifier for that and got paid trip to come. And well, I did not see this at the after party firsthand. I think it was like Richard posted this in his Hell It's About Time video. Tempo showing Seed how to kind of like stand on one hand, breakdance sort of style thing.
Yeah. I forgot about that. He couldn't do it.
Seed also had a lot of very other excellent things happen for him at Hell It's About Time, of course, but just in general, I had a great time meeting him. I can't say that we've met all the players that we wish we could. I've met a good chunk of them, and Seed is definitely one of my at least top 10 favorite people that I've had the opportunity to meet.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun at that. It was a big party.
Well, the Korean barbecue was really fun too. He had like the end table of like Seed, Heart, Crank, and Seed was making fun of my inability to eat Korean food, and
we got spicy Korean food, and Rifkin had to try to chop off the tiniest bit with a chopstick, and I know they're called chopsticks, but it doesn't really work like that. And then he tried to wipe the sauce off, it just got more on it.
I was really good at eating Korean food. Whatever, man.
It was just the whole thing.
It was an accidental ordeal.
Yeah.
And then the owner of the restaurant made fun of me for being chubby. She called me fat.
To
was
be
good
fair,
times.
she also made fun of her own son, so.
Yeah. Plus, I weighed a lot more back then, but still, it was such a funny moment. Just like it caught me so off guard. I'm like, what? Rude? So he burns the overcharge on this. Actually, not a bad choice in my opinion. Opening up that gas as quick as you can. He did, of course, take a gas at his natural, so not a big deal. But wanted to make sure that Rogue couldn't also see anything with that extractor either.
I think Rogue might have even gone for a triple hatch double gas before pool with that gas steal. It was pretty.
I guess technically, yeah, with the gas steal, it's a double gas.
Yeah, that was a pretty great opener, but it's Dust Towers, and Seed also went for, I think, his own quicker Nexus. I didn't see what type though. So the point is, like, Adepts aren't coming over to his base right now, getting kind of free kills, while the Queen's still popping out, or Ling's still popping up, or something like that. And he did bother to get the speed too. Like, the gas actually did come down as well. So, I mean, you can play without gas, but I think it's getting even more dangerous with Adepts being as suicide-y as they are at all different points of PvZ. We saw Nurtio actually play without speed for the entire game, an entire best of 3.
Yeah, but Nurtio also does amazing things that other people can't. So I don't know.
Yeah. I like how the chat is all like...
Everyone's discussing that cat face.
Yeah,
I feel like everyone who says it's a straight up cat face with no other meaning, you're the reason Skype made that stupid emote. Like, for those who don't know, when you type this on Skype, it just turns into a cat. It's dumb. It's stupid. I hate it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's ridiculous.
Ooh, Rogue. He sees a fast third from Seed, and he's like, I'm just gonna make a bunch of Lings. Screw you. Wants
to take advantage of it. I think the other part of this too is when his first 4 Lings went in, he saw minimal response. Like, there should have been an Adept out here or something. So just Photon Overcharge, not gonna cut it. Not against this many Zerglings coming across the map. And this is that trap a lot of Protoss players are getting caught in right now. Not just taking earlier thirds or not, but it's the fact that they don't have a lot of actual units on the battlefield to fight with when they wish they did.
Yeah. Popping that overcharge will mean that he has another one in 2 seconds, but that will be the last one. And, Seed is still only operating off of... Okay, well, now he's operating off of 3 gateways. That's a little better. But he actually just takes the fight with the overcharge with the Adepts.
That's way too good of a fight here for Seed. I don't know why Rogue would dedicate to this. More on the way, and I guess he's just hoping to eventually wear him down. The overcharge being popped over here. He'd have a lot better luck breaking the ramp with the way he's fighting against the Adepts right now.
Yeah, that didn't work, and that was a lot of Lings. That was supposed to either either kill everything surrounding the Nexus or kill the Nexus. I don't like getting 3 probes from that.
It's still not a terrible trade for him, and he did make sure to drone up first, so it's not like he cut a bunch of workers to make that happen. But yeah, that flopped pretty hard.
Yeah, that was just a nice positioning from Seed. Calm reaction too. But you're right, like it's not totally game over.
You bring up Nurture a few moments ago, but just actually taking a foreigner tactic for a moment for Rogue, and I'm not trying to criticize Rogue, guys, but had he done something where, like, you drop the main while this was going on simultaneously, that could have actually been really, really good at very minimal costs.
Yeah, that could have been an addition. Now Seed has warped into more depths and will be running them across the map. Now he knows their speed, obviously, but what you might be hoping to catch is them still trying to recover from that, and not getting roaches. That's kind of what's happening. Seed or Rogue doesn't have that many roaches right now. The Lings can only help so much.
And I love the Purifier Adept skin. It looks so pretty. Purifier everything. I'm just a big Purifier fan. The end. It's like mech. It's like mech Protoss. Of course I love it.
Yeah, of course you do. So the drones do get pulled here, and that's gonna help Seed a little bit. Seed is going for double Stargate, which we see very, very often on Dust Towers. And I think he'll be okay in doing this. Also getting Blink and +1. Resident Glaives finished actually a while ago while that attack, the Ling attack, was happening. 11 drones, not so bad, and a couple of drone pools too. If we check the income advantage, Seed has jumped up quite a bit from this.
Seed is actually, speaking of the drone kills here, I forgot about this because we haven't cast him in so long. He's one of those players who's actually pretty good with the Adepts early on, using a lot of that sort of transfer back and forth shenanigans that just made Zerg players go straight up on tilt. So while Rogue did not get devastated by that attack, 17 worker kills was very nice. Now, the scary thing is that, once again, between these Phoenix in the air and the Adepts dying, there's actually not a lot of army supply in general, much less on the ground, to defend against this attack. The Photon Overcharges will buy some time, but Rogue would have to be crazy to actually dedicate into 3 Photon Overcharges. So cannons even coming down out of Seed. Army not looking too bad, but still scary.
Yeah, I don't really think he needs the cannons. The cannons or the Void Rays, I would say. Not both are necessary. In fact, Rogue's not even going to take the fight. They don't have speed, which might have contributed to that. They can't really dodge out or actually rush in on top of the pylons. So just keeping them alive, and that does make Seed look a little bit awkward. But you know what? The pylons, the cannons, I guess they'll be useful later. And Dust Towers has been getting just to later and later stages in PvZ, so run-bys could be a problem later on. Overlord speed is on the way, so we might see late game drops, but I think it's also just against the Phoenixes not getting so many Overlord kills.
Seed's doing something right now that I actually I both like and don't like. The Void Ray, for a moment, they're a little bit defensive, I guess scared of what could possibly be coming.
Yeah.
Roach Allen, realizing upon scouting of their Phoenix that that's not the case and that it is something like Hydra's, this gives them the opportunity to push, knowing it'll be a few moments before Lurkers are even out. Of course, Lurkers will be able to shut down this attack because there's no detection, but taking advantage of the time to at least deny a 4th is pretty good. Better than sitting at home doing nothing.
I wonder if he could take on this army. There's a couple Ravagers. There's a lot more Hydras than Roaches, so not a lot of buffer for this army. And he's going to take it. He has all of the upgrades for his ground units. But that did not start out well. So.
No, and if he had picked up that Hydra correctly, the Void Ray could have done a lot more. But backing away and keeping at least the Stalkers alive, keep those Phoenix alive. I mean, he can kite down through the middle of the map and kill a couple of units on the way out. Unfortunately, I think that Void Ray is doomed to die, however, due to its slow movement speed.
Yeah, it's got to, like, peace out some other direction.
It should have gone south, but...
Yeah.
Double drops, by the way, for Rogue.
Ooh.
We didn't catch this while this was going on because it doesn't show up in the production tab because Blizzard won't fix that for some reason.
That's where the Roaches went. And I understand why they were just sitting over there.
All right, so he's actually going to get into the third base and the natural simultaneously. Seed's going to warp in at the natural, and his army should be able to defend the third. So this gets about 9 probe kills. Not bad. Not terrible, but not bad. The attack at the front is going to be stopped with that overcharge, and he's going to hold on for a little bit longer. But that Lurker Den did finish. These Hydras could become Lurkers and start tilting the game in Rogue's favor pretty heavily.
Yeah. The upgrades are going to be even, I think, but the next time they fight. Of course, Seed a little bit behind. More Lurkers and no Immortals from Seed. No Disruptors either. I guess either one could be an option. That is worrying.
Maybe not, though. So... This is really reaching up my ass for what-if situation, but we have seen through hypotheticals I guess you could say, that Blink Stalkers, if microed absolutely perfectly, can take on large amounts of Lurkers. The likelihood of that, though, and whether Seed's capable of that level of control, very unlikely.
Well, it's was a little awkward as they're both running past each other, but now catching maybe a free Lurker for
Just
two
grab
Lurkers.
him up. Yep, the Phoenix holding him in the air. The Stalker's getting to hit him. It's like a bully holding a kid for another bully to punch, I guess.
Yeah. A little bit. 5 more Lurkers on the way. Now Rogue is on 4 bases, so he's pretty comfortable in the defense here, especially without Immortals to bust
That
through.
blink
I mean,
was
even with
really
a
nice.
concave.
Dives in, picks up most of these Lurkers. This is what I'm talking about. Like, if you do this correctly, Stalkers can win out, but still Lurkers in the ground means a lot of damage is happening. And you know what? We had that question a couple weeks back.
Jesus.
If you drop
Oh,
a
God.
Lurker from a Phoenix, does it reburrow? And it appears yes, it does. That's really stupid in my opinion, considering Vipers will unburrow them if they yank them out of the ground, but you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a legit balancing. I wonder how much that would improve this matchup if that wasn't the case. Like, you could actually just use all the Phoenix to pick up and drop immediately just to unburrow them.
That would be... I feel like that used to be a thing. I'm just, like, so misremembering plenty of games. But that would change everything up, especially since, yeah, Double Stargate Phoenix has been so popular lately, especially on Dust Towers. But the Blink forward did not work out, as we saw, and they both ended up just kind of taking each other's army out a little bit. So they're still an even army. C did not get a 4th behind that, which is the worst part of that attack, but he can get it now.
So one of the kind of cool things there is, like, okay, the Stalkers got chunked at the end and then ended up going pretty badly towards the end of it, but I just want to point like how good the start of that fight was for Seed, in a situation where I think most players would just not even want to take that fight. I am a little worried now. There's not enough area of effect damage. It's not going to be that level of control twice. He's not going to catch Rogue off guard. He's going to instead try and use a counterattack. I'm not sure how this will go. I actually am really afraid because of the Lings here as well.
+3 is not exactly close to finishing. Won't be here for this fight. First Immortal's finally popping out.
It's like something killed that Warp Prism.
Yeah, Rogue's pulling entirely back for it, too. Maybe afraid of...
I mean, Adepts can't get out of hand, but it's...
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like it's worth warranting the whole army to retreat.
Yeah, it's more that he was afraid of what was coming from Seed on his defense. Like, maybe he thought there was going to be storms, or maybe he was just simply expecting 5 Immortals, you know? Like what you would usually see from Protoss.
11 more Lurkers.
Dang.
So, I mean, there is going to, at some point, be a critical mass of Lurkers where no matter how good your micro is, there's just going to be literally spikes all over the ground. And that's where things like the Immortals are great, because they can focus them down so quickly. This attempt to block out this base is an absolute failure, Rogue. You could actually take a
Why
Nexus.
not?
You could actually take a Nexus there.
Why not? Just move it over a little bit. How many Lurkers is that in total? 19 Lurkers.
That's too many Lurkers. Where's that Void Ray from earlier? There's actually no anti-air.
There's like one Hydra.
If there's like that
what
one
a good
Void
concave.
Ray.
Yeah, that one Void Ray would really help out.
but
The Observer is going to survive here, too.
As good as this concave may damn well be, the Stalkers and the Immortals are struggling to get in here. 19 Lurkers becomes 12, but they take out like 90% of Seed's army in the process.
But without the buffer for them, they're also going to go down. It's still going to go better for Rogue with the reinforcements.
This wasn't bad, though. I thought Seed was going to get absolutely wrecked, and decked like hardcore. Ends up cleaning up most of this, but at the end of the day, Rogue's got the reinforcements, and he's got the capability of flooding with 40 Lings, whereas Seed has not a lot.
Yeah, the fact that he was not on a 4th base with that first attack was I think, already quite bad, but especially when you just take an attack like that, fight like that. So now he's going to transfer over his probes, and is going to catch up back on that mining. It's been very much in favor of Rogue for the last 5 minutes, something like that. At the 5th base, he can also transfer his workers, too. But the Remax on Lings is going to actually be used for the sideswipe. It's going to go into a probe line, whereas the main army is still in the middle of the map.
If this was a little bit of SimCity to it, actually this may have held a lot easier. I don't know why, but it feels like it's been a while since we've seen people do the whole 2 gateways and a cannon combo around their expansions.
I agree. I think because they've already, especially on Dust Towers, I guess they throw down like so many gateways after the 3rd gets saturated, they don't actually need any more gateways.
Yeah, but just anything to keep the cannon just surround free. Like, don't let the Lings get on top of it, I guess. Either way, it's not the hugest deal. It's just a note that it's another way this matchup's changed. You've changed, man.
This matchup has changed really a lot for the better, but it's it can be frustrating. So the game continues, but C is not in the best position. He will have to just hope to take another good fight with the concave. This time there are going to be a lot less lurkers, about 11 less in fact.
Yeah,
Nice.
I mean, I gotta give credit to Seed. His control's been good this game, and I really like it. But it is one of those things where I don't know how long he can keep fending off these lurker hordes, because it is a significant amount of lurkers.
Yeah.
I love Revelation over Observers in this situation, though. Not often will I be able to say that, but in this particular instance, it's looking good. Charge Lot's also gonna be fantastic versus combination Lings, Hydras, and Ravagers, but this army out of Rogue is still 124 supply strong.
Seed is trying to get like a backstab or something on the lurkers. Yeah, that's where he's
Flank.
going with it. Nicely done. This is the best position you can probably
but
get.
his front lines are getting absolutely trucked. That Immortal goes down so quickly. The
Yeah,
Archons
look at that
dissipate. And yeah, the supply not even a little bit close.
Nope. And that's going to be game for Seed. I mean,
GG.
it was a very good game. It just, I think over time, especially after that first lurker fights, no fourth might have been what really killed Seed.
What I enjoyed about this was